Hi, Jeffrey Rickman here. I'm the Methodist pastor in Nowata in Delaware, Oklahoma, and I've been wanting to do a series on reclaiming Christian vocabulary. Christianity has been in a competition with the world for the hearts and affections of men for a couple millennia now, and one of the tactics the world uses is to try and just discount Christianity from the conversation altogether by discounting our words and making them seem irrelevant or unpopular or tacky or draconian. And there are a lot of words that the world has done this with, and as Christians have tried to witness to the world, we've often jettisoned those words so that we're not seen as problematic. I think that's a mistake. I think we need to reclaim a lot of these words. And the first word is religion. Religion is almost seen as a four-letter word by a lot of people. It is seen as not at all useful, and we see this in slogans like it's about a relationship and not a religion, or people saying I'm spiritual but not religious. There's even abbreviation for them, SBNR. It's seen as tacky or small-minded to be religious. It's seen as enlightened to be spiritual, and the overall critique there seems to be on the structure of religion versus the freedom of spirituality. There are a lot of things that people have concocted to have a problem with religion, one of which being the notion is that spiritual things don't have rules, and why are we putting rules on these things? It seems so unnecessary, and it seems patriarchal and like we're trying to restrain and constrain people unnecessarily. There's also a certain reading of history that religious people have been the bad guys all the time, and there's a lot of what I would consider propaganda about that. Whenever you read the broad story of history, what becomes clear is that all humans have been awful since the beginning. And the only times when we've seen a respite from that have really been when people who believe in the Christian religion are changed by it and show mercy that is somewhat unnatural. And that's seen for the 2,000 years of Christian history. And I would say that even though some other faiths display some interesting stuff, it's the Christian religion alone that has resulted in the most prospering and peacemaking among people of all human history, and we're going to continue to see that. The third thing that people have a problem with is that the Christian faith doesn't match their own personal experience of God. And so they read the Bible or they hear Christians talk about the faith and they just go, well, that doesn't make sense to me and that doesn't feel right to me. And so why is the concept of religion worth defending? Why would we protect this word? And the first reason I would use is because it's found in Scripture. In the book of James, for instance, chapter 1, starting in verse 26, it talks about religion in a good way. Those who consider themselves religious and do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. Well, why would we care about that if religion doesn't matter? You want a religion that's worth something. Verse 27, religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. Okay, so if the Christian scriptures make the case for the word religion, in the Greek it's threskia, the notion is that there's a set system, a set of rules and norms that God himself not only abides by, but desires, prefers, perhaps even exercises an exclusive relationship with people based upon. Now, what you find if you go into the scriptures is God cares about rules very much. Old and New Testament is full of lists of vices and virtues, and even whenever it comes to ordinances pertaining to building of the tabernacle or the ark or the temple, everything is very particular. We have a God who has decided in the particularities of how we should live, what we should believe, what we should do, what we should think and feel, and these things matter because the heart and soul of religion is it matters how we live. Now, people who are against religion generally are of the mind that we shouldn't feel so much pressure, that we shouldn't be worried about how we live, that everybody makes it in the end. This is a lie from the evil one. Another lie from the evil one is that God's truth will match our feelings, and the reality is our feelings are messed up. This world is messed up. Everything is messed up. Now, when you want to talk about the etymology of the word religion, re means again, right? And ligin, L-I-G is in there. It's same root as ligament. What's a ligament do? It connects. So the notion is that religion reconnects something. And when you read the Bible, you realize that we are all born disconnected from God, disconnected from one another, and even disconnected from ourselves. And what we need is to be reunified, reconnected, because everything is called to be in union with God and one another. And we can't achieve that of our own energy, that it takes something supernatural to undo the damage done long before any of us was ever born. And that's what was achieved on the cross through Jesus Christ, which is what the whole religion, the Christian religion, is based around. Now, what's lost if we get away from this notion of religion? This notion that we have a shared faith to which we are all held accountable and responsible for. The reality is that God has revealed His truth. He's revealed His one true religion, and He has made Himself known to us in His holy word. And we can either accept it and conform ourselves to it, or we can reject it and reject God's love and His salvation as well. Now, if we come to terms with what religion is, then what we find is freedom. We are no longer slaves to our feelings. We are no longer slaves to our own way of seeing and doing things. Rather, we are given liberty from our broken selves, and we are freed to true life, true liberty, true unity with our fellow man in a way that's impossible outside of Jesus Christ. So we need to cling to this notion of religion. We need to be proud of that word, and we need to realize when someone has a problem with that word, then their problem is actually with Christianity and with the God who gave us the one true faith. So, brothers and sisters, reclaim the word religion. There is much power and goodness in it.